What if Deku becomes Pokémon Master? Hey everyone, welcome back to Nothing But Anime. I'm thrilled to launch a brand new series here on the channel. What if Deku became Pokémon Master? If you're as excited as I am, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe so you never miss an epic moment. Alright, let's not waste any time. Let's jump right into the fourth part of the series. After a short trip through Route 2, the duo of Izuku and Achiko arrived in Geonosis City, the City of Steel. Huge steel skyscrapers towered over the people down below, as a huge train system ran throughout the city, making it easy to get around. Wow, so this is Geonosis? It's huge. Izuku and Achiko both looked around at the city in shock. Both having grown up in small towns, they'd never seen a city of this scale in person. Okay, where's the gym? Achiko asked him, as they both walked into the Pokémon Center. The city is pretty big, so it might take us a while to find it. Actually, before we do that, there are a couple things I want to do first, Izuku said sheepishly. Like? Achiko asked. Well, I heard online that this is a steel-type gym, and there is a desert with lots of ground types close by, so I want to try catching one first. And, Izuku hesitated a bit. I may have spent a bit too much at that cafe, so we should probably get some money by battling trainers. Achiko gave him a bit of an, "Are you serious?" look, but didn't judge him too harshly, considering that he spent that money on her mochi. Hey there! Huh! Izuku and Achiko looked in front of them and saw two people approaching them. The first one was a boy who had spiky blonde hair, with a black thunderbolt on the side. He was wearing a black coat and pants with a white t-shirt. The second one was a girl with short purple hair, wearing much the same getup except her shirt was pink. Yo! The boy greeted. My name is Denki Kaminari, and this is Kyoka Jiro. And we heard that you two are a couple of Pokémon trainers in need of cash. Sorry for eavesdropping, but this idiot can't keep to himself. Jiro apologized. But we'd be more than happy to battle you. Really? Izuku said, smiling brightly at the two of them. Wow, that was way easier than I thought. We'd love to battle you. Achiko raised Pidov's Pokeball and gave them a competitive smirk. But don't expect us to go easy on you. We'd be insulted if you did. Kaminari gave a similar look, raising his own Pokeball. Alright, there is a park nearby that's built for Pokemon battles, Jiro told them. Let's take this over there, shall we? The four arrived at the Pokemon battling park and found multiple arenas made specifically for various Pokemon battles. They went to a double battle arena, and the two pairs got on opposite sides. Come out, Pidove, Achiko said, sending out her flying-type Pokemon. Let's go, Kubfu. Izuku sent out his newest Pokemon. Fu! Kubfu came out, looking extremely eager to battle with their new trainer. Alright, get out here, Electabuzz. Kaminari sent out his first Pokemon, Electabuzz. Chatot, let's go. Jiro sent out her Chatot. Alright, let's start this off right. Electabuzz used Thunderbolt on Kubfu, Kaminari ordered. Buzz. Electabuzz charged up for a second, before shooting a bolt of lightning at Kubfu. Dodge it, Izuku ordered. Fu. Kubfu barely managed to dodge the bolt in the nick of time. Alrighty then, go in this Thunder Punch, Kaminari shouted. Elec. Electabuzz charged forward at Kubfu. Meet his fist with Dynamic Punch, Izuku ordered. Kubfu charged up his attack, and as Electabuzz came in to punch Kubfu, he unleashed it. Fu! Their fists met as the attacks exchanged. Kubfu was shocked by the electric attack for a moment, but he quickly overpowered Electabuzz with his more powerful attack and punched the yellow and black Pokemon away. Buzz! Electabuzz cried out in pain, as it was knocked back and put into a confused state. Come, Electabuzz, get up and use Mega Punch, Kaminari ordered. Electabuzz got up and charged his fist with normal-type energy, before punching itself in the face due to confusion. Meanwhile, Jiro and Achiko were currently having a battle in the air, with Chatot chasing Pidove in the air. Keep using echoed voice, Jiro shouted. Keep dodging them, Achiko ordered. Tot, tot, tot. Chatot fired a sound blast at Pidove, who managed to avoid each of them. Now use Swagger, Achiko ordered. Pidove flew higher in the air, and gave Chatot a smug look, raising their beak up high in a snooty fashion. Tot? Chatot's attack raised 2 stages but became confused, and suddenly it had a hard time staying in the air, as its sense of balance was completely thrown off. Crap! Jiro cursed, as she realized how bad this was. Now, air cutter it into Electabuzz, Achiko ordered. Pie! Dove! Pidove flew around Chatot, getting the angle just right so that way its air cutter would hit both Chatot and Electabuzz. Dodge it! Kaminari and Jiro shouted simultaneously. The saw blades of air came down upon the two, hitting Chatot and sending them to the ground, and Electabuzz managed to jump out of the way. Oh no, you don't. Brick break, Izuku ordered. Kubfu's hand glowed, as it charged towards Electabuzz, who was still in the air, and chopped them right in the stomach. Buzz! Electabuzz cried out in pain as it was knocked away. Damn, this ain't looking good, Kaminari said. Gee, you think? Jiro rolled her eyes. Alright, let's go for broke. Wild charge, Kaminari ordered. Buzz! Electabuzz jumped up and started swinging its arms around, covering itself in electricity, before charging at Kubfu at top speed. Izuku waited for Electabuzz to get close, before giving his order. Counter! Kubfu glowed red and dug his feet into the ground. Buzz! Electabuzz charged into Kubfu, damaging the small Pokemon as well as Electabuzz before Kubfu punched it in the gut. Much more damage. Buzz! Electabuzz was once again tossed into the air, before hitting the ground, unconscious. Cha! Meanwhile, Chatot was still very confused and injured from the air cutter. Now air cutter them again, Achiko ordered. Pie! Dove! Pidove sent out another round of wind saw blades at Chatot. Dodge it! Jiro ordered. Cha! Tot! Chatot slammed its face into the dirt before it was hit by the air cutter, causing a massive dirt cloud to kick up. Once the cloud faded away, Chatot was revealed to have fainted. Nice! Achiko said, raising her arm, getting a high five from Izuku. Man, you guys aren't bad. Kaminari didn't seem to take this personally, having a good time with the battle despite losing a Pokemon. But we're not done yet. Time for round 2, Jiro added. Come out, Whizmore. You too, Helioptile. Kaminari sent out his next Pokemon. The 2 Pokemon came out, ready to fight. Achiko looked down at Kubfu, who was looking a bit worse for wear, and decided to change it up. Return Pidove. Come out, Togepi. The brunette switched out her Pokemon, sending out her much more support-oriented partner. Alright, Togepi, use Life Dew, Achiko ordered. Pie! Togepi's hands glowed blue, before forming a drop of water between them. But before she could throw it at Kubfu, Jiro spoke up. Oh no, you don't. Hyper voice, Jiro ordered. Mare! Whizmore shouted, sending out a huge sound wave that hit both Kubfu and Togepi. Fu! Kubfu cried out in pain, covering their ears along with Togepi. Bulldoze! Kaminari ordered. Optal! Helioptile roared, and the ground started shaking around Kubfu and Togepi. Darn it! Kubfu tossed Togepi into the air. Izuku shouted. Kubfu grabbed Togepi, and just before the ground rose up and smacked him, he threw Togepi up. Fu! After getting hit by the attack, Kubfu fell to the ground, knocked out. Sorry, Kubfu. Izuku apologized to his Pokemon, before looking at his partner. Alright, you're up, Eevee. Eevee jumped off of Izuku and got ready to attack. Togepi, use Life Dew on yourself, Achiko ordered. Pie! Togepi once again formed a healing drop of water. Hyper voice, Jiro ordered. Not again. Eevee used Quick Attack, Izuku ordered. As Whizmore was about to unleash a super load sound wave, Eevee charged at it cloaked with white energy, hitting them, interrupting their attack. This gave Togepi time to heal itself using Life Dew. Thunderbolt, Kaminari ordered. Tile! Helioptile launched a Thunderbolt at Eevee. Use Quick Attack to dodge, Izuku ordered. Eevee barely managed to get out of the way in time, avoiding the powerful electric-type attack. Now use Swift on the Helioptile, Izuku shouted. Help them out with Ancient Power, Achiko ordered. Eevee shot out a group of stars, while Togepi shot out a group of rocks. Thunderbolt, Kaminari shouted. Tile! Helioptile launched a Thunderbolt at the 2 incoming attacks. The Thunderbolt hit Swift, destroying the stars in an explosion, but coming out of the smoke was the still intact Ancient Power, hitting Helioptile into the dirt. Togepi was covered in blue light, signifying that its power was boosted. Wait, it got the boost on the first try? Kaminari balked. They must have Serene Grace. But even then, that's lucky, Jiro said. Alright, Achiko cheered. Now use Baton Dash. Yeah, nope. Use Supersonic, Jiro ordered. Whizmore. Whizmore shot out a Sonic Blast, hitting Togepi, and confusing them. Oh no, Togepi, Achiko shouted out. Please use Baton Pass. Pie! Togepi didn't seem to understand the order and just waddled around. I need to defend Togepi until they can snap out of it. A boosted Pidove would be really useful, Izuku thought. But I can't just have Eevee stand there and take both of their attacks. But maybe a good offense is the best defense. Eevee used Quick Attack on Whizmore, Izuku ordered. Eevee once again used Quick Attack and tackled Whizmore. Now bite them and keep them in your mouth, Izuku followed up. Eevee bit into Whizmore, holding on to them and not letting them go. Kaminari looked between Whizmore and the still confused Togepi. Don't worry about me. Get that Togepi, Jiro told him. Alright, use Parabolic Charge on the Togepi, Kaminari ordered. Hyoptile's ears stretched out and started glowing with electricity as it was about to shoot out an attack at Togepi. Throw Whismur in front of the attack Eevee, Izuku ordered. Eevee! Eevee threw out Whismur in between Helioptile and Togepi, just as Helioptile unleashed its attack. Murr! Whismur cried out in pain as it was shocked, and its life force was drained into Helioptile. When the attack ended, Whismur fell to the ground, slightly burnt, and unconscious. Meanwhile, Togepi shook itself out of confusion. Alright, use ancient power on Helioptile to buy some time, Hachiko said. Pie! Togepi sent out another attack at Helioptile, which hit, causing it to cry out as all the health it recovered was taken away, and a bit more. Then Togepi glowed blue once more, signifying that she got yet another boost. What the hell is your luck? Kaminari complained. 2 in a row. That's like a 1 in a billion chance. Actually, if she has Serene Grace, it's 1 in 10, technically giving it the same chance as getting the boost on the first try for a normal Pokemon. Jiro pointed out with a frown. Still kinda bull though. Heh. Guess I'm just that lucky. Hachiko laughed it off. Ugh. Noibat, get out here and help us deal with this. Jiro threw out her next Pokemon. Noibat came out, ready to battle. Supersonic on the Togepi, Jiro ordered. Not again, Swift, Izuku shouted. Eevee! Eevee shot out some stars. As Noibat shot out a sound wave, the two attacks met, destroying each other. Alright, Togepi, bat and pass, Hachiko ordered. Pie! Togepi went back into her Pokeball and was switched out for Pidove, who was given all Togepi's stat boost. Crap! We need to take that thing out. Thunderbolt! Kaminari ordered. Not on my watch, Swift, Izuku ordered. Pidove use Air Cutter. Hachiko followed up. Eevee shot out starts that destroyed the Thunderbolt before Air Cutter went in and hit Helioptile. Noibat Tailwind. Jiro hoped she could even out the speed difference. Quick attack, Hachiko ordered. Before Noibat could use Tailwind, Pidove smacked into it at super speeds, interrupting it. Eevee used Dig, Izuku ordered. A super effective move. Kaminari panicked. Helioptile, jump. Helioptile jumped into the air, but that just left it open to Pidove's attacks. Quick attack it back down to earth, Hachiko ordered. Pie, Dove. Pidove smacked Helioptile, hammering it back down to earth just as Eevee came out and smacked it in the face. This combination attack knocked out the poor electric normal type almost instantly. Okay. This is not going well, Kaminari said, as he recalled his Pokemon. One last chance. Come on, Pikachu. Pika. The electric mouse Pokemon came out, looking fired up. Alright. Pidove use Air Cutter on Noibat, Hachiko ordered. Quick. While it's attacking, use Thunderbolt on it, Kaminari ordered. Eevee stop it with Swift, Izuku shouted. Noibat defend yourself with your own Air Cutter, Jiro ordered. Pidove shot out Air Cutter at Noibat, Pikachu shot out a Thunderbolt at Pidove while it was attacking, but Eevee shot out Swift, which destroyed Pikachu's attack. Noibat shot out its own Air Cutter at Pidove's Air Cutter, hoping to cancel out the attack, but Pidove's boosted power meant that its Air Cutter was much stronger, so its attack smashed through Noibat's, hitting the Dragon Slash flying-type Pokemon and doing significant damage. Now use Quick Attack on Noibat, Hachiko and Izuku said at the same time. The two Pokemon charged, tackling Noibat simultaneously, and knocking it out. Oh crap, Kaminari said. Pikachu used Double Team. Pie, 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 pie. An army of Pikachu clones appeared in front of Pidove and Eevee. Izuku and Hachiko looked at each other, smirked, and then nodded, before saying at the same time, Quick Attack through all the clones. Pie/V. Pidove and Eevee dashed through the Pikachu clones at lightning-fast speeds, before eventually, they destroyed all of them and Eevee hit Pikachu. Now Eevee jumped back and used Swift, Izuku shouted. Eevee. Eevee flipped back and unleashed Swift 1 Pikachu. Pikachu. Use Quick Attack to get away, Kaminari ordered. Pikachu ran away from the stars, but the stars kept tracking the electric type so it had to keep running, until Pidove came right in front of it. Air Cutter, Hachiko ordered. Pie, Dove. Pidove unleashed Air Cutter right at Pikachu. Boom! Pikachu was sandwiched between the two attacks, and when they hit, they created a big explosion. When the explosion subsided and the dust cleared, Pikachu was knocked out. Man, we got our asses kicked, Kaminari said, as he returned Pikachu and Jiro returned Noibat. Well, we're out of Pokemon. Guess that makes you guys the winners, Jiro said. Alright, Hachiko jumped up in the air, in celebration, before she returned Pidove to her Pokeball. She then took out Togepi's Pokeball and smiled down at both of them. You two did great. You did wonderfully as well, Eevee, Izuku said as his Pokemon returned to his shoulder, before looking down at Kubfu's ball. And you too, Kubfu. Well, here you go. Jiro walked over to them and handed them 10,000 Pokebucks. Whoa, this is a lot. Achiko said as she inspected the cash. Yeah, you didn't need to give us that much, Izuku told them. Jiro shrugged. It's fine. We have plenty of money. And you two did help up practice for the gym leader? Or should I say, replacement gym leader? Izuku and Achiko gave her a confused look. Replacement? Izuku asked. Yeah. Apparently something crazy happened. Someone attacked the gym leader, beat him in a Pokemon battle, and then put him in the hospital, Kaminari told them. And apparently he was using his strong team. Pretty scary, huh? It was very scary. Someone took down a gym leader? Izuku thought. Gym leaders were powerful and well-respected trainers. The top of the top, which is why they were used to judge other trainers to see if they were worthy enough to take on the league challenge. So to hear someone so violent had beat one in a battle, it was alarming, to say the least. Well, we should probably all head back to the Pokemon Center, Jiro said. Thanks for the experience. Yeah, you're welcome, Izuku said, still distracted by what was said earlier. Dangerous legendary Pokemon, and now this? What on earth is happening in this region? Izuku was currently in one of the Pokemon Center's rooms, where trainers would stay when they were in the city. He was sat hunched over a desk, looking down at his phone, muttering intensely, while his Pokemon rested in the background. Izuku decided to let them rest outside of their Pokeballs, as he never liked the idea of keeping them in there for very long. Kubfu and Chasepin were sleeping next to each other, sitting up against the desk by Izuku's foot, while Eevee was on the bed, waiting for Izuku. However, seeing that it didn't seem Izuku would be coming to bed anytime soon, Eevee got a bit annoyed, wanting to get some sleep already, but not willing to compromise when it came to cuddles. Eevee jumped off the desk, marching up to Izuku, before jumping onto the desk, sitting right next to his phone, and giving him an annoyed glare, before lightly slapping him in the face. Huh! Izuku was broken out of his daze and looked down at his partner. Oh, Eevee, did you want something? Eevee pointed at the bed with her paw. Oh, you want to go to sleep? Izuku frowned. Sorry, Eevee, I need to figure out what Pokemon I'm gonna catch in Tatooine Desert. There's a lot of ground types, but I don't want to try and catch too many. I just need one ground type. What Izuku was looking at was a list of ground types that were known to inhabit Tatooine Desert, and he was going over the pros and cons of catching certain kinds of Pokemon. Eevee looked at the phone before pressing it with her paw and causing it to scroll rapidly, as the Pokemon all rolled through it like they were in a slot machine, before Eevee stopped at her paw. His partner Pokemon raised her paw and revealed the Pokemon she chose was a Trapinch. Trapinch? Izuku thought it over. Trapinch is a pretty weak Pokemon usually, with its only saving grace being its strong physical attacks. And it evolves into Flygon eventually, which is an amazing Pokemon, and a Dragon type. So it'll be easy to catch and get much stronger when it fully evolves, but just a Trapinch it might struggle to keep up, especially because they're typically very slow. But the rest of my team should be able to weaken enemy Pokemon so that way it can get stronger and evolve. And Kubfu should be able to take down most of the Pokemon for the first gym anyway, so I suppose having a weaker ground type shouldn't be too much of a problem. I think this is good. Thanks, Eevee. I might have been here all night choosing what Pokemon to catch. Eevee put their head up pridefully in the air, before motioning to the bed once more. Alright. Izuku yawned. I'll go to bed. Izuku put down his phone and crawled into the bed, with Eevee cuddling up next to him. The next day had arrived. Izuku and Achiko stood outside the Pokemon Center, getting ready to go their separate ways. Alright, so we'll meet up here after I'm done with the gym? And you're done looking for a Trapinch? Achiko reiterated. Yeah, it might take me a while though. Trapinch are a bit hard to find, and Tatooine Desert is pretty big, so I'm sorry in advance if I make you wait for too long, Izuku said. It's fine, Achiko reassured him. If you're taking that long, then I'll just find a trainer to battle with. Right, good idea, Izuku said before taking a step back. Well, see you later. Yeah, see ya, Achiko said as she walked off in the opposite direction. Tatooine Desert. Like most deserts, it was very bleak, with only sand, rocks, and caves being present in this environment. As such, walking around, looking for a specific Pokemon is a bit troublesome. Eevee groaned, the sun beating down on both of them causing them to sweat intensely. Yeah, it is really hot, huh? Izuku was pretty hot himself. Makes me wish we had water type. You want to get back in the Pokeball? Eevee jumped off Izuku's shoulder and then jumped up to press the button on her Pokeball, sucking herself back inside it to escape the heat. Alrighty then, Izuku was a bit relieved. As much as he loved Eevee, having a ball of warm, heat-trapping fur on his shoulder was not at all helping him with this heat. Now, Trapinch typically hides below ground, waiting in sand pits for prey to fall in. So I just need to find a sand pit. Achiko stood outside the gym, readying herself for the upcoming battle. The building on the outside was shaped like some sort of weird racing helmet, with the Pokemon League symbol plastered above the door. Alright, Achiko, let's do this, Uraraka said, psyching herself up. She entered the doors of the gym and headed inside. After going through a steel hallway, she was met with what was seemingly the main room of the gym. It was a large, rectangular arena, made of stainless steel. Up top, the ceiling was mostly made of windows, letting sunlight come in from outside. And on the side, there were bleachers for spectators. Standing on the opposite side of the arena was a young boy around her age actually, with blue hair, a pair of rectangular glasses, wearing a white jacket with a blue shirt under it, as well as gray pants. Welcome, challenger. My name is Tenya Ida, the boy said, introducing himself. I will be acting as temporary gym leader. Oh, have you just been standing there the whole time? Achiko asked him. The gym leader, even a temporary one, should always be ready for when a challenger arrives, Ida said, chopping the air as he spoke. Oh, okay, Achiko said. This guy is a bit intense. It is my duty to perform this role to the best of my ability, Ida shouted. As my older brothers fill in, I will battle you with all I have. Wait, the original gym leader was your older brother? Achiko frowned. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I heard what happened to him. It must have been terrible. Ida frowned, looking away sadly for a moment, as he recalled seeing his older brother being taken into the hospital after being heavily injured. Yes, it was a horrible thing. I'm so sorry for what happened to your family. Achiko gave him a polite bow. But, if it makes you feel better, you seem pretty dependable. I'm sure your older brother has some peace of mind knowing you're stepping in for him. Ida looked down. I hope so. Thank you. After a moment, Ida straightened back up. Now, I believe we should get to the reason why you're here, right? Achiko put down Togepi, who walked up onto the arena, getting ready to battle. I'm here to challenge you for the gym badge. Well, then, let the battle begin. Ida took out a Pokeball and threw out his first Pokemon. Come out, Honedge. Edge. Honedge popped out, giving Togepi a glare as it got ready to fight. Alright, let's start with a Totemize, Ida shouted. Honedge. Honedge dropped to the ground and grinded the tip of its blade against the steel floor, increasing its speed by 2 stages. Togepi, use Ancient Power, Achiko ordered. Pie. Togepi launched an Ancient Power at Honedge. Dodge it, Ida shouted. And then use Slash. Edge. Honedge easily dived underneath the attack, soaring towards Togepi at great speed, while its blades started glowing white. Pie. Togepi shouted out in pain, as Honedge's Slash hit, and knocked them back a few feet. It's fast, Achiko thought. Now use Fury Cutter, Ida ordered. Hone. Edge. 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 Honedge charged up at Togepi, its blade glow turning green, as it slashed Togepi several times, before knocking them away. Pie. Togepi cried out in pain, as she was now very injured. Not good. Togepi used Life Dew, Achiko shouted. Togepi. Togepi formed a ball of water in her arms, and dropped it on herself, healing them slightly. Use Fury Cutter again, Ida commanded. Use Ancient Power, Achiko shouted. Honedge charged at Togepi with great speed, while Togepi formed an Ancient Power attack. Togepi hit Honedge with Ancient Power, just as Honedge hit Togepi with Fury Cutter, knocking them both away from each other. Pie! Togepi shook off the attack and found herself glowing blue. Alright, second try, Achiko cheered. Man, I am really lucky with that move. Alright, bat and pass. Toge! Togepi returned herself back into the Pokeball, switching out with Pidove, who then got all of Togepi's stat boost. Lucky indeed. But your luck has run out, Ida shouted. Honedge, use Slash. Use Gust to blow it away, and then use Air Cutter, Achiko commanded. Honedge charged at Pidove, who was flying above them, but Pidove shot out a blast of air at Honedge, causing them to slow down, and then Pidove shot out Air Cutter, hitting Honedge with saw blades made of wind, knocking Honedge back down to the ground. Now use Swagger, Achiko shouted. Pie! Dove! Pidove arrogantly raised her beak into the air, causing Honedge to get confused, while also raising their attack stat up by 2 stages. Hone, Edge. Honedge floated back up, albeit unsteadily. Honedge, please break through it. Use Slash on the Pidove, Ida begged his Pokemon. Hone, Edge. Honedge's blade glowed white as it activated Slash, but instead of going for Pidove, it stabbed itself into the ground, getting itself stuck into the steel floor. Alright, Pidove, keep using Air Cutter until it faints. Achiko was getting really excited. Things were looking good so far. Pie! Dove, 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 dove. Pidove shot out wave after wave of Air Cutters at Honedge, who was confused and stuck in the ground. After about the 10th Air Cutter wave, Honedge was knocked out. Alright, great work, Pidove. Achiko praised her Pokemon. Well, it seems I was wrong about your luck running out, Ida said as he returned his Pokémon. But let us see if it will keep up against my strongest Pokémon. Come out, Sixer. Zor. Ida's Scizor came out, its claws clamping down on the air menacingly. All right, let's start this off with double team, Ida ordered. Zor, 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 Zor. An army of Scizors appeared underneath Pidove. Just gust and blow them all away, Ochako responded. Pie, Dove. Pidove rapidly flapped her wings, creating a strong wind that destroyed all the clones. Bullet punch. While it's still vulnerable, Ida shouted. Scizor. Scizor's claws turned a steel gray before it dashed at Pidove at impressive speeds, ending up above Pidove before it unleashed a flurry of punches down on her. Scizor. Zor, 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 Zor. Dove. Pidove cried as she was smacked to the floor. Pidove, get up and use quick attack, Ochako ordered. Pie. Pidove was surrounded in white light as it charged at Scizor and tackled it right in its midsection, which did practically nothing. Zor. Scizor smacked Pidove away. Use Swords Dance, Ida ordered. Scizor. Scizor clanged its arms together in a particular fashion, its movements reminiscent of a dance, as its attack increased twofold. This could be risky, but if my luck holds out, then if I use Swagger I can get Scizor to hit itself and do massive damage. Ochako decided she would take the risk. Pidove used Swagger. Dove. Once more, Pidove arrogantly raised its beak into the air, confusing Scizor while fully raising its attack. Scizor, I beg you, don't inflict damage upon yourself and use Metal Claw, Ida shouted. Scizor. Scizor's claw glowed a bright steely gray, as, despite its confusion, it charged down at Pidove and slammed its claw against the small bird Pokémon, sending it flying across the arena. Dovey. Pidove groaned as it hit the floor, knocked completely unconscious. Darn it! Ochako frowned as she returned Pidove to her Pokeball, looking at it sadly. It has a +4 attack boost, and it has moves that are super effective against Fairy, including Bullet Punch, and Togepi's not that strong anyway. But maybe if it hits itself I can use Metronome and get some kind of Fire-type move. Ochako pulled out Togepi's Pokeball, clutching it nervously. I can't give up now. Come out, Togepi. Pie. Togepi came out and looked up nervously at the menacing Scizor in front of her. Togepi. Alright, Scizor, we're almost done. Use Bullet Punch. Ida hoped that Scizor wouldn't hit himself. Just one attack would win him the battle. Sigh. Scizor shook their head, the confused status wearing off entirely before his claws glowed with Steel-type energy, and it charged at Togepi. Pie. Togepi cried, as Scizor unleashed a barrage of blows on the poor Pokémon, knocking her out instantly. Darn it, Ochako said frustratedly, as she returned her Pokémon. Was that your last Pokémon? Ida asked her. Ochako sighed. Yeah. Well then, it seems I have won the battle, Ida declared, before looking down at his Scizor. Well done, Zor. Scizor gave him a happy look, raising his claw as if to give thumbs up despite lacing thumbs before Ida returned him to his Pokeball. Ida looked up and addressed the now frustrated Ochako. You tried your hardest, it was not a bad attempt. Although I would say too much of your strategy relied solely upon luck. Yeah, I guess I was just used to Midoriya covering for me, Ochako sighed. This was the first time I had a single battle against a trainer before. Oh, you had a companion battling with you? Ida asked her. Yeah, we did a lot of battles together. Right now he's... Oh, I guess I really shouldn't tell you. Ochako blushed as she realized she almost revealed Izuku plan. I suppose he is most likely in the desert looking for a ground-type Pokémon to aid him against me, Ida speculated, before looking at Ochiko's surprised face. It's an obvious strategy. The Steel-type gym is almost literally right next to a desert, the place where ground types make their home. Yeah, I probably would have gotten on too, if I wasn't a flying-type specialist, Ochako admitted. Well, hopefully he's having more luck than I did. Finally, Izuku was finally having some luck. After wandering the desert aimlessly for hours, he finally found a sandpit. Alright, please have a trapinch inside and not pincer or something, Izuku muttered to himself. Izuku carefully approached the sandpit, moving slowly so he didn't accidentally fall in. He looked down into the pit, and a pair of huge orange jaws sticking out of the bottom of the pit, waiting for something to fall in them. Yes, Izuku whispered, not wanting to alert the Pokémon. Alright, time to go Chase Spin. Chase Spin came out of his Pokeball and was standing next to Izuku. Alright, pull it out of the ground with Vine Whip, Izuku ordered. Pin. Chespin's vines came out of his shoulders and wrapped around Trapinch's maw, before pulling it out of the sand, and the pit entirely, bringing it up in the air and slamming it into the sand on the opposite side. Pinch? Trapinch seemed extremely alarmed, but quickly got back up and looked at Chasepin angrily. Trap! Trapinch charged at Chasepin, its jaw open wide and ready to use bite. But it was really slow. Vine whip again, Izuku ordered. Cheese! Chespin's vines came out and slapped Trapinch in the face, doing significant damage. Looks like it's on its last legs, Izuku thought. It really is pretty weak. But, P-Pinch? Despite its injuries, Trapinch got back up with a fire in its eye and went on the attack again with bite. It has spirit, Izuku noted. Alright, Chasepin. Vine whip one more time. Chasepin. Chespin's vines surged out and smacked Trapinch again, knocking it aside and rendering it unconscious. Alright, Izuku threw his Pokeball at the fallen Pokemon, who got sucked up into the device. Brup, 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 ding. Alright, I caught a Trapinch. Izuku cheered as he grabbed the Pokeball and held it up into the air. After a brief celebration, Izuku looked at Chasepin, who seemed a bit down. Huh? What's up, Chasepin? Izuku asked his Pokemon. Cheese. Chasepin moved around its arms, seemingly trying to give a message Izuku couldn't fully understand. What is he? Oh, did you not like having to fight a much weaker opponent? Izuku guessed. Cheese. Chasepin nodded sadly. I see. Well, don't worry, Izuku reassured his Pokemon with a gentle smile. We'll train them up so they can get much stronger. That seemed to have improved Chespin's move, as it went right back onto smiling. Chasepin. Izuku smiled back and pet Chespin's head. Alright, now let's head back to the Pokemon Center. I don't think Eevee will be happy to stay inside her ball for much longer. Cheese. Chasepin agreed before being put back inside his Pokeball. After putting the Pokeball back on his belt, Izuku started making his way back to the Pokemon Center. That's the 4th part finished. If you want to catch up on the earlier chapters, head to the playlist. Please remember to support the author. I'll be back with more soon. Thanks for being awesome.